be a sponge.
Hey, in this video, we're talking to Guitar Hero designer Rob Key about how to get in the video games industry. So, open your ears. What made you want to make games as a career?
I always knew that I wanted to make games, I think, and it came from after I got those 8-bit systems and played Chuck the Egg and the BC Micro and then the Spectrum. Then I got an Amiga computer, which was a 16-bit computer that was very popular in the UK. The great thing about that was I bought it to play games, but it came packaged with an art package called Deluxe Paint. That art package let you create pixel art, and I just fell in love with creating pixel art. I thought it was the coolest thing, and I really enjoyed being able to put a bit of my art skill into the computer, and decided I wanted to make video game art, and that should be what I do for a living. So then I just tried my hardest to make that happen.
How did you make that happen?
I created all my own pixel art, and I sent it off to some game companies and say, like, have you got a job? Or can I do some free work for you? Or can I get a break in some way? I got mostly rejection.
Peter says no.
I did get one job offer, which was great, down in London, but I wasn't sure I wanted to do it because I realised I should probably go to university and get a good education as well. And then I got another letter from an artist at Psygnosis. And he said, your pixel art's great, but really you should learn 3D. The whole industry is changing to 3D. So I recommend that instead of getting a job doing 2D pixel art, go and learn 3D instead. And there's some university courses now that'll teach it. And so that letter changed my career, really.
Wow, that's like the best career advice ever.
It was, because it was a turning point. It was that turning point moment where things were going from 2D to 3D. So I basically found the best 3D course there was in the UK at the moment, which was at one at Bournemouth University. I did a degree there for 3 years. Learn all of that stuff inside out, and that really prepared me well to be a 3D animator.
How did you start working in the industry?
I went and joined a team making Looney Tunes games, and that's how I got my start in the industry. Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, all the rest of it, and it was an absolute honor to animate those characters. And but I learned along the way, because I would chip in and do bits of environment art as well to try and create the sets that the characters were brawling. I realized at that point that the most creative job that I could see in a game development team was game design. So I really wanted to get myself over into game design. And so I started transitioning into game design by being a level designer, and worked on some more kind of Warner Brothers games and Looney Tunes games as a level designer to get into that skill set. And then eventually that prepared me to get into game design.
I heard level design is a really good way to learn game design.
I think so. It's a very common on-ramp for game designers to become level designers first. And I think part of the reason is when you're a level designer, you're creating the second-by-second experience of the player. And when you're a game designer, you're kind of elevating a level above that, really, and trying to think about the whole game, the whole experience. But you've got that foundation of understanding how to create these moments. And game designers typically split into two types. You've got level designers, and then more system designers who are creating more the game rules and the rule sets of the game. And they focus on more things like how the player character moveset is constructed, how other characters like enemies in the game are posing challenges to the player character. So you've got like system designers and level designers. And I think both are a really good path up into being like a lead game designer. There's lots of other types of designers too, and the bigger the teams get, the more specialties you get. So, I'm working on action adventure games. The narrative designer is a really important role on an action adventure game, where the narrative is so important to the game that you really have to have people dedicated to bringing that voice to the table, even before you bring a writer on board, to help understand how are you keeping what the player does and the story really tightly together.
What would you recommend someone starting out?
When you're first starting out, it can seem a bit overwhelming, can't it? Because you've got this goal and you're trying to find your way in. And I think my own story is like, you just got to reach out and talk to people and ask people, and they'll give you good advice. So you've got to be a good listener, and you've got to be a bit relentless in terms of just asking questions and finding people to talk to about the game industry. And ultimately, those people will help you find the right path in. I would recommend, even more than just blanketing your resume everywhere, try and talk to people, try and find people who do make games now, whether it's your uncle's friend or whoever it ends up being, if you can talk to people in the games industry, they'll generally be really encouraging and give you good advice on your local area and how you can potentially talk to people there and start to find an opening.
A bit like the advice you received to learn 3D.
There's so many stories like that. Like I remember when, after I'd got my break and I'd been working for 3 or 4 years as an animator, the studio boss, Tim, came in and he said, we've got this guy who keeps coming to the door and I don't think his work's that good, but he keeps coming. Can you guys just take a look at his work just so I can tell him that the art team have taken a look at his work? And so we're like, sure, we'll take a look at his work. And we looked at it and it was okay. It wasn't like stellar. It wasn't like the best ever, but it was okay. My art lead at the time was like, maybe we could use somebody to help just do a lot of the smaller jobs. Maybe we could do with somebody who's just super enthusiastic and wants to learn. So why don't we give him like an internship, a chance to just come in and do work for free? And so we offered that to him and he came in and of course he knocked it out of the park. He did great. And he's been elevating in the games industry ever since. He's a technical art director.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah. And it's that tenacity, I think. It can be sometimes emotionally, I think it can be tough to take a lot of rejection when you're first trying to get into the industry. You keep blanketing your resume out, it knows. But that's just the numbers game. It's just part of the game. You have to be tenacious and just keep going at it and try and find your way in.
Is tenacity more important than talent?
Ultimately, it's both. I remember being at art college and being wowed by the talent of other people, but not all of them went on to have amazing careers. It was the ones who had both the talent and the stick-at-itiveness to keep going. It's a team sport. You've got to be friendly, you've got to be affable and enjoy the company of other people. And I think that's other people will enjoy your company then as well. I've interviewed quite a lot of people in my time in the industry. When you're going for a junior position, you basically just have to be a sponge. You're like, I'm ready to learn everything. I'll show you the skills I've got. I'm going to show you I'm not a know-it-all. I'm going to show you that I'm ready to learn lots of new stuff. And that's kind of the persona that you want to bring to the table.
Open your eyes, open your ears.
That's a more succinct way of saying it. I like that, Shoki.
Don't open anything else. Anything else you like to point out?
If I was going to underscore one lesson for new people coming into games, I think it would be it's a team sport, so be affable, be friendly, don't be a know-it-all, show your passion to learn, and be ready to be a team player. You have to have both. You have to show that you've got talent and that you've got reasons why on a resume they should hire you, but then use that opportunity as soon as you get your first kind of discussion or chat going to show that you are a team player and that you want to learn and that you're ready to do that, because it makes a huge difference. I think it's your chances of success.
So there you got it from the seasoned pro, the unaffable sponge.
Hi, neighbor.
Click here if you want to know the difference in between indie and big game. And subscribe. Do it.